Young Thug is having a very hard time within jail. After multiple emergency bond hearings were denied, and even Young Thug's lawyer claiming that Thug is living in non-livable conditions, the YSL rapper has now been moved to a new county jail. It was just reported that Young Thug is now being jailed in Cobb County. The feds are moving Young Thug to avoid any more issues with rival rapper YFN Lucci, but there's also one more reason why he was moved. In court, it was announced that Young Thug and his YSL associates are responsible for over 50 passings of rival street members, as well as active instances of firearm use in the public. The Fulton County District Attorney, Fannie Willis, spoke with the local Atlanta News, adding to the indictment reportedly includes allegations of 3 passings and dozens more. One passing has been identified as Donovan Thomas. Young Thug is accused of renting a 2014 Infiniti Q50 sedan that was used in the Thomas passing. They add, Thomas's passing is extremely significant. Willis said, it occurred back in 2015, and what myself and any law enforcement member can tell you, as a result of the back and forth firearm use, many passings have occurred. There has probably been about 50 since 2015. This is from the back and forth between YSL and other street teams. Young Thug is not accused of being the main person in these passings, but he is being accused as being the head honcho of YSL, meaning that he directs what all of the troops do and who they go after, while supplying the group with income, firearms, and narcotics. The rapper's lawyer, Brian Steele, is pushing back all claims against his client. He states, Mr. Williams has committed no violation of the law whatsoever. Steele told XXL in a statement last week, we will fight this case ethically and legally. Mr. Williams will be cleared. Now, with the serious allegations of Young Thug and YSL being responsible for 50 passings, there is zero chance the YSL rapper gets released on bond, similar to the other YSL member Gunna, where this news just broke on May 23rd. Gunna was denied bond once again, after prosecutors claimed in court that he holds a command role in YSL. Gunna appeared in court in Fulton County for his latest bond hearing. During the hearing, prosecutors spelled out why the rapper should remain behind bars until his trial starts. Prosecutors paint him as a key member in the YSL organization. The judge ultimately agreed, and Gunna's trial date was also reportedly set for next year. Journalist Jewel Wicker was present during the hearing and reported on the event via Twitter saying, a judge denied bond for Gunna and set his date for January 9th, 2023. She posted, prosecutors allege that YSL is a street team, not just a record label. They also allege that Gunna serves in a command role. In a follow-up tweet, she added, prosecutors said that Gunna is a documented team member and that he and Mr. Williams direct their troops to commit acts. The judge said his biggest concern was witness tampering. Gunna's attorney can file a renewed motion for bond at a later date. The judge revealed that both YSL rappers Young Thug and Gunna will be sitting inside jail until their RICO trial begins. Now, this raised major concern in the YSL team, as currently Young Thug is allegedly being held in an unlivable situation. This is when we saw Young Thug's lawyer put out this statement saying, Young Thug's lawyer filed an emergency motion in hopes of getting him released immediately on bond. Why the urgency? Well, attorney Brian Steele says the YSL honcho is being held in total isolation in a windowless cement compartment with only a bed and toilet. He adds the jail cell has an overhead light that remains on 24 hours a day, preventing Young Thug from getting any sleep. Further, Steele says that Thug has no access to the media or any opportunity to exercise, shave, or have any human contact. And don't get him started on the food menu. According to his attorney, Young Thug is getting a tray of inedible food. Steele added quotes around the food sarcastically. Now, while it sounds like he's basically describing a stereotypical jail cell, Steele says the conditions violate Young Thug's constitutional rights, in particular the 8th and 14th Amendments. Now, this didn't settle well with the Fulton County General. Fulton County prides themselves on providing livable situations for all all inmates. They shared these photos of Young Thug's jail cell on live TV, exposing all of the negative claims by Young Thug's lawyer. Young Thug lives in this jail cell alone from all other inmates. It includes an average-sized cell, private bathroom with a small wall blocking it from the door window, as well as a mattress to go over the steel bed at 8 p.m. Now, the courtroom detailed the truth behind Young Thug's arrest. Hearing this will make you realize how serious this court case is. It starts with rappers Young Thug and Gunna among 28 defendants charged in a 56-count indictment in Fulton County. The 56-count grand jury indictment charges 28 members and associates of Young Slime Life, known as YSL. The indictment includes charges of conspiring to violate the racketeer, influence, and corrupt organizations known as the RICO Act, as well as armed robbery and participation in criminal street activity. News TV captured this exclusive image of authorities taking Young Thug into custody earlier this evening. Now here's even extra bonus footage of Young Thug being arrested. According to the 56-count indictment, Young Thug is facing charges of participation in street activity and conspiring to violate the racketeer influence in corrupt organizations known as RICO. Gunna is facing 1 count of conspiring to violate RICO as well. After reviewing the 88-page indictment, there are very serious allegations against Young Thug. In court, prosecutors say that YSL is a criminal street team that started in late 2012 in the Cleveland Avenue of Atlanta. YSL claims affiliation with the National Red. YSL's founders were Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, then Walter Murphy, aka DK, with Trontavia Stevens, aka Tick. Young Thug is being accused of renting a 2014 Q50 sedan from Hertz, which was used in the commission of the passing of Donovan Thomas Jr., a rival street member on January 10, 2015. According to the indictment, prosecutors allege that 2 associates of YSL, known as Christian and Antonio, worked to get permission of Young Thug to make a second attempt on YFN Lucci while he's being jailed in Fulton County. Prosecutors say Sergio Kitchens, known as Gunna, an associate of YSL, is accused of appearing in a video released on social media titled Fox 5 wearing a YSL pendant and slat pendant. And right there, the prosecutors just detailed the main reason why Young Thug was moved to Cobb County. In that evidence, it says prosecutors allege 2 associates of YSL named Christian and Antonio worked to get permission of Young Thug to make a second attempt on YFN Lucci while he's jailed in Fulton County. Now, after law enforcement figured out that that was happening, this is when they immediately rushed Young Thug out of Fulton County. They wanted no problems going on between 28 members of YSL that were just freshly jailed in that county. Now, this made prosecutors dig even deeper into the Young Thug and YFN Lucci beef. This was being investigated for many years, and over the weekend of August 18, 2019, YFN Lucci posted to his Instagram story to tell his followers how he feels about Young Thug's new album titled So Much Fun. While Young Thug fans had nothing but praise for the album, YFN Lucci appears to denounce the LP, calling it a cap album. Lucci wrote to his Instagram story saying, "Boy almost went number 2 on himself in Lennox. No cap." Now, I had to change the word he used, but you understand the point. On Young Thug's song Just How It Is, he says the lyrics, "Last man tried me, almost got hit in Lennox. Ask the cops, ask the detectives, they know all the business." Now, it didn't take long for Lucci's IG story to catch Young Thug's attention. In Young Thug's own Instagram story, he didn't hold back against Lucci. In the story, Young Thug says he would have ended YFN Lucci in the past if he didn't have respect that the rapper is a family man. He says, at YFN Lucci, if it ain't what you do for your mother and kids, I would have ended you. You can guess what he actually said. Now this is actually what got the attention of the feds in the first place, and they've been investigating it ever since. Young Thug and Lucci's beef dates back all the way to 2017, when the YSL Records founder crowned himself as the new Tupac after dropping his album. Shortly after, YFN Lucci seemingly went after Young Thug again. He says, Tupac would have never wore a dress. Lucci tweeted without tagging. Now more reports came out between the two, which also led to Young Thug's arrest. It states that there hasn't been peace between both rappers since 2017. Now with Young Thug, Gunna, and 28 members of YSL all being jailed at the same place as YFN Lucci with other team members he's involved in, it was a recipe for disaster for the people that work at Fulton County. Countless inmates had to get moved around so everyone would not be in the same cell block. Young Thug actually got removed from the jail entirely, and even in 2017, Young Thug was supposed to go on tour with MGK. He went on Instagram Live to hype up the tour, and in that Instagram Live, he called out YFN Lucci, saying that he would deal with him on site if he showed up to any of the concerts. Now during that live session, Lucci stepped in and said, hey man, stop tagging me in that stuff. Lucci said he's not gonna deal with nobody, but just with Young Thug saying it's on site, if they crossed paths at Fulton County, something very serious would have went down. Who knows what would have happened to YFN Lucci or even Young Thug.